Welcome back, everybody. It's your boy Wilder42K, and we are back with another Battle Royale. This time, as you can see by the map, we're going over to the NBA, and we're going to be trying this out on 2K, but not the newest 2K. I didn't purchase the newest 2K because I'm a cheap bastard. I have 2K22. We are going to be taking over the Battle Royale of the NBA. Y'all know how this works. All these open territories right here can be taken over by any of the teams. So if Chicago gets an arrow pointing to the left and they're in the selected team to attack, they'll take over one of these states. However, if they get an arrow to the right, they have to take on the Indiana Pacers in Indiana, and the winner takes all the territories of the opposing team. So y'all know how this works. We're going to jump right into it, and we're going to get our first team spin. And our first attacking team looks like it's going to be the Chicago Bulls. Oddly enough, that was super weird that I just kind of predicted that. Let's see which direction they head in. And they do head southwest, so they do get a free territory. So we're going to select this real quick. We're going to move them over into this state here. And there you have the Chicago Bulls are now 2 states. Chicago has expanded over to the left, to the west here. And let's get our next team spin in. Our next team is the Detroit Pistons. It's going to be kind of hard for them to get out of where they need to go, but they can attack in multiple directions, but they're most likely going to have to face a team. And they're going to be heading directly southwest again, just a little bit to the left instead of just straight south. So they do end up having to take on the Indiana Pacers. That's going to be our first matchup today, guys, is the Detroit Pistons versus Indiana in Indianapolis. And with that, the Pacers shut down the Pistons. They move on and take over the Detroit area and the Michigan area. And it's going to be the Charlotte Hornets looking to get out of Carolina. Let's see which direction they're going to have to attack. And that puts them headed towards southeast, which they don't really have a team there, so I'm just going to go ahead and give them South Carolina. Heading into the next matchup, that's 2 free spaces that have been taken over already this year. And we got the Utah Jazz. They do have several teams around them, but it's going to have to depend on which direction they go. And I think they have a couple free spots to the north. They do have to attack almost due west, which is another free spot. And it's the Portland Trailblazers. Again, they don't have a ton of teams around them, so it's going to come down to which direction. They could go to California, which it looks like it may be. It's going southwest. So it goes from the logo. It's going to be Portland taking on Sacramento. And the Kings go down. Portland Trailblazers take over the northern portion of California. Damian Lillard had an absolute pop-off game with 38 total points. Just 2 teams having been eliminated so far. We look to go through this first part 1. Obviously, this is going to be another part 2 series. We don't want to make this too long for you guys. But we have the Milwaukee Bucks coming up next. Tons of teams around them. They're probably going to have to face a team. They have to go almost due south. It's a little bit southwest. And I would say it's probably Chicago. I mean, they could get this free spot, but I'm going to take Milwaukee Bucks to the Chicago Bulls. And there you have it. The Bucks take over the Chicago area. Chris Middleton with 21 points leading the Bucks. It's a big game for them. They expand their territory just a little bit larger. If the Bulls go down, that means we're looking for our next team. The Timberwolves or the Thunder. It does end up being the Thunder. The Thunder can pretty much go anywhere north of where their team's located. South, they're going to have to go through Texas. They do get northeast. I'm not sure if that's a free spot. I would say it is. I'm going to go ahead and give them the state directly above them. I think there's an argument to be made from center logo. I guess it's close, but I'm going to take the state directly above them. We're filling in all these absentee states. Obviously, the north is going to be really hard. It's going to have to be Portland, Utah, or Denver that kind of go for that. But we move on to the next spin. And we get the Spurs. The Spurs are probably going to have to face a team here. I think they're pretty much encapsulated by the Rockets and the Mavericks, but we'll see which team. They do go northeast, almost directly northeast. And that, to me, from center logo, is the Houston Rockets. And down go the Rockets in a stunner. It came down to the end. It went to OT, and the Spurs end up pulling it away with a 4-point victory over the Rockets. Down go the Rockets, and the Spurs look to take over Texas. Can we get them again? Pelicans look to make their first move here. They are surrounded by teams. They go directly south, which is kind of hard for them, so we're going to respin. Being the Pelicans, they are literally on the bottom portion, but they have to go slightly northwest. They do end up getting the free state right above them. And again, these free states are kind of dwindling between all the teams. The real only good amount of space is to the north. We're eventually going to see a lot more fights here, or a lot bigger territories. Grizzlies coming into play early, and they head southwest. Another free state. I guess from the center of their logo in terms of where this is at, And the Pacers making their first appearance as an attacking team. Another free state down, we inch closer. The Thunder coming back into play. They look to expand north. They want to get that big territory up there before any other team can. And they do just that. They head directly north. They're picking up another free state. The Nets make their first appearance. There's only a few teams that they can attack here. Pretty much trapped where they're at. They have to head southeast. It's going to be a tough kind of matchup here. But the Celtics are going to look, or the Nets are going to look to take over the Celtics in the entire New England portion of the map here. And the Nets go down 132 to 121, a 40-point fourth quarter and a 40-point second quarter. Leads the Celtics over the Nets. 34 points from Jaylen Brown and 25 from Jason Tatum. And we get the Mavericks. The Mavericks do have a couple teams surrounding them. They're going to have a tough way out of Texas. Do they have to face the Spurs? They do not. They head southwest. Southwest, I think it's going to be a free state. We're going to go ahead and give them the state directly next to them. Easy money for them. And now they're going to have to face somebody. They're completely surrounded. It doesn't matter who they get next spin. Same thing with the Suns, Clippers, Lakers, and Warriors. They almost had to do it right again, but the Denver Nuggets come into play. Again, a lot of Northern Territory is open. But they have to head, I guess that would technically be southeast, but it's more of directly east in my opinion. But they do have to face a Thunder. They could pick up the largest portion of territory so far on the map if they can beat the Thunder. And down go the Thunder. The Nuggets take over the largest portion of the states, winning a 125-93 game in Oklahoma City. They take over 4 full states now. And the next team is the Blazers. As long as they don't head south, they should be in relative. And they do head due east. They pick up Idaho. Free states are running out rapid. I don't think I've ever played one of these, and this happened this fast. Golden State, they have to face a team. They're entirely in cap, and they head south. Heading south means they're taking on the Lakers. In the Battle of California, there's only 3 teams left. And the Warriors take down LeBron and the Lakers. LeBron James did end up putting up 26 points. However, it did not matter. Steph Curry, 32, and Andrew Wiggins putting up 20 was enough to shut down the Lakers and take over the largest portion of California so far. Warriors again. The Warriors are attacking again. You know they have to face a team. And they head south again. There's not too many teams below them. You know what that means. They're trying to take over California. It's going to be the Warriors versus the Clippers. With that, the Warriors are out. The Clippers take over California, a 133-126 victory over the Warriors to take over the Golden State. And the Heat are going to try to come out of Miami. They have to head north. We don't even have to spin. They have to face the Magic. We're going to take on Miami in Orlando. Here we go. Let's see. And Florida man reigns supreme. Miami moves up, and they take over Orlando, and they take over the entire state of Florida. Down go the Magic, but we still have many teams left in play. The Pelicans up to bat again. Heading directly north, it's going to be the New Orleans Pelicans taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. And as expected, the Bucks demolished the Pelicans 142-124, moving on and expanding even farther south. They essentially are the Mississippi River at this point. And now again, you hear that right. To go east or west, you're going to have to go through Milwaukee or whoever takes over this territory at this point. They hold the entire Mississippi River. They are the definitive Great Wall of the U.S. at this point. We're narrowing down. We're almost done with our full part 1. And it's the Washington Wizards. There is an open state down to their southwest, but they're going to have to, I guess I could take New Jersey as well, but the only team they can really face here in this situation is the 76ers, and they would have to go almost due north, which they kind of get, but I'm going to go ahead and give them New Jersey here. I think they deserve a little bit of extra territory. They're looking a little small right now. So New Jersey is encapsulated by the Washington Wizards. And it's the Knicks. Now, the Knicks do have a little bit tougher path. They are surrounded. So the only thing they could really do is attack a team. They don't have a choice. They have to attack. And it's going southwest. Southwest is the Philadelphia 76ers. New York heads to Philadelphia to take on their crosstown rivals. New York at Philly, and it's a blowout, baby. 23-point victory for the Knicks. Joel Embiid didn't really show up too much. He had a 25-point double-double, but Julius Randle, 28, and Derrick Rose, 20, really uplifted the Knicks over the 76ers today. 76ers down, and we're just almost at the halfway point. the Celtics. They have to go through a team. There's only, I think, 3 teams they can face. And it's Southwest again, but this time we're going to send them to Washington. They obviously want that game, so I'm going to give it to them. Down go the Wizards. Again, it seems like every one of these games is 140 to 120, but it's a 141 to 120 victory for the Celtics, and they expand into Maryland and New Jersey. Oh, and it gives us the Mavericks. That's a little surprising. It looks like it's more on the Nuggets to me, but the Mavericks, again, they do have to face a team here. They head directly east. You guys know what that means. It's the Mavericks versus the Spurs in the Battle of Texas. Down goes San Antonio in a nail-biter, 102 to 91. Even though they did win by 11, it's a close matchup. The Mavericks take over. The highest score for the Spurs was only 14 points, and even on the Mavericks was 18. We didn't see a 20-point game at all today, but Dinwiddie leads the Mavericks to another victory and take over the Battle of Texas. This will be our last matchup of Part 1. And the Pacers, oh, this is going to be a tough one. They may have to take on the Bucks for that definitive Mississippi line. And they do not. They have to head northeast. Northeast for the Pacers is going to be the Cavaliers in our final matchup of Part 1. And the Pacers go down. They lose 3 states, and the Cavaliers grow ever so bigger. The Cavaliers with a big win, 118 to 107 over the Pacers. And here's a final look at our Part 1 map. The Cavaliers made a huge win, making a late start, but they got a big win. They hold a huge portion. Memphis with 1 play, Charlotte with 1 play. We have the Hawks who haven't stepped in, the Raptors who haven't stepped in, the Timberwolves who haven't stepped in, and even the Suns haven't attacked yet. However, the Trailblazers, the Nuggets, and the Milwaukee Bucks have really taken over most of the states. You also have the Celtics who own, I would say, the majority of states, but not the most land. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and please let me know in the comments below, is your team making it through Part 1? Who do you think's going to win? And if your team still is alive, who do you hope they face in the next episode? Anyways, guys, thank you so much, and I will see y'all in the next one.